Hey Delmarva, thanks for joining us today on Coast Life. We're so happy you're here and we're your hosts. I'm Paige Marley.
I'm Leah Rizzo and it's Friday.
Heck yeah.
Right?
Happy Friday, everybody. Maybe it's your payday. Go buy yourself something nice.
Yes, treat yourself,
Yeah,
you know.
or pay off those Christmas bills.
Maybe if there are gifts that, you know, you had to return or they didn't fit quite right, you can treat yourself in the middle of all that.
Yes, of course. Go get a little coffee, an iced coffee. You deserve it. But don't forget, those bills are coming in January, so to treat yourself limited.
A little.
Limitedly. You know who's really going to be treating themselves next year, Leah? Couples. Apparently.
That's
right.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They say that next year is going to be the year of love, and maybe the year that you don't want to go on Instagram if you're feeling lonely, because it's going to be a huge increase in weddings and more specifically proposals.
Interesting. So I wonder why. Have they said why that is?
They have. So apparently it's a few things. So a lot of people had to push off their weddings because of COVID.
Yeah.
So, you have the COVID brides who moved it to maybe 2021, 2022. And other people who were like, well, I'm not going to get married because all the wedding venues are booked up because of the COVID brides. And, that makes sense. Also, something I think is interesting, which we've talked about before, is obviously weddings are so expensive. It can be expensive to get engaged, buy the ring, all that good stuff. But there's such an increase now in buying lab-grown diamonds or rings that aren't diamonds. There's some other gem. And so people are like, well, hey, I can afford this now.
Yeah.
So they're going for it.
That's true. I mean, I right on.
Yeah, right. I'm for it.
I like that. I think I learned something. I was watching a podcast or something about diamonds and like the diamond industry and how they really were like a nothing gem until diamonds are forever. Like somebody came up with a catchy slogan for it where there are like emeralds and sapphires and rubies that really are more truly rare gems if like that's what's important to you in an engagement ring. But like the diamonds are fascinating.
It's incredible,
and a lot of like ugly history in them. So I like the lab-grown diamond option. I think having a more affordable option, but you still get the pretty. It's a real diamond.
Right.
It's just grown in a lab.
Right, exactly. No, I support it too, I think, and people are doing more eloping.
Yeah.
That's been a thing. I saw this girl on TikTok just yesterday. She was like, you are bad if you elope. She was like, I think it's so cool because you just truly shows that you don't care what other people think. It's just about your union. So I think that's why. It's just where people are making it simpler, and so they're thinking, okay, I don't have to spend $50,000 for a wedding to show this person I love them. We can go get a pretty ring and have the wedding of our dreams and call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say I'm with them. I feel like what should be important is you're celebrating your love to each other, and that's what's really important. And I mean, I get that parents want to see you walk down the aisle. They want to see the happiness, and they should. They should be there for the elopement or throw a big party afterwards.
Right.
However you want to do it. There's so much family pressure. And I mean, I think it's the same family pressure that we tend to see around the holidays, around, maybe birthdays. Like family can just be dramatic and a lot of pressure but they're family. You have to take care of them. You have to let them in. And we have these sometimes very complicated relationships with family that I think it all comes back up during wedding season, during holidays, all that, all the emotional, nostalgic, and family-oriented activities.
Definitely, we've talked about that too leading up to Christmas, the stress of Christmas, which no one likes to talk about, but it's there. But maybe it's taken some stress off of you if you were thinking of getting engaged. Next year could be your year. Yeah, all these guys right now might be like, Paige.
I know.
Because all the girls now are like, Paige said it's the year.
Paige said.
I said it's the year.
2024.
Go get married, people.
Paige said.
Find
they
love.
said.
Who's Paige? That's what's really going to be happening. That's fine.
Now, when it comes to proposals, do you like sort of the idea of big, public, over-the-top proposals, or more like small, private, intimate proposals?
For myself, I did appreciate the over-the-top proposal that I got. That's just me. I like big things, extravagant things, but I love and appreciate so much the smaller ones. So,
well, yours was over the top, but it was still your family that was the audience.
That's true.
Like you weren't in like Disney World.
That is true. We were at a winery. There were people at the winery, but it was still like separated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're right. And then afterwards, the family and friends were there. So. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't like when it's over the top because they want to make a production.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like those Jumbotron proposals.
Yeah. Right. And it's like, look what I did, everybody. Unless it's a Jumbotron and just the two of you, that's cute.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I feel like I like the idea of an intimate proposal.
Yeah.
And maybe, your family's there. Like when my brother proposed to my sister-in-law, my sister and I knew he was going to propose because like I was the one carrying the ring in the pocket and I had to like sneak it to him and, and he took a knee out in a public space because we were celebrating New Year's Eve.
Love that.
And the fireworks were going off. And so like there were people around, but it wasn't meant to be like a show. We didn't film it. Well, we poorly filmed it because it was dark and none of us had good phone camera.
Well, you want to see that on camera. That makes sense.
But we were filming it, for him, and it wasn't. It was not a lights, camera, action type of production.
Right.
It was just like, here comes.
Oh, that's cute though. I like that. I do think a lot of pressure gets put on proposals sometimes.
I do too.
I would recommend just talking to your significant other. I think sometimes people want it to be such a surprise, and that's good.
Yeah.
It should be, a surprise. But the whole just don't throw marriage on somebody. It's almost like, okay, we're gonna move in together now. It's like, well, we need to talk about this first. You should and see what they're comfortable with. I think if my fiance proposed to me like in our living room, it would have been very sweet. I probably would not have believed him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
that's just true. Because we talk so much about what I was wanting and things like that, that I would be like, this is a joke,
Yeah. I think I would want my family there.
That makes sense.
Make it a moment.
That's right. Well, there's gonna be a lot of proposals next year, obviously.
That's what I hear. Paige said.
That's what they tell me.
But kind of speaking of 2024, the new year, we talked, I think, briefly about it last week a little bit.
Yeah.
We touched on New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
Do you make them? How do you keep them? Are they worth making?
Yeah, I think they're worth making. I think at least try. I mean, setting a goal can never hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're worth making. I was curious a few years ago. I did a story for Coast TV News about like the gyms, and I walked into the gyms thinking, okay, is everyone signing up now? And they're all going to be out of here by February. And go Delmarva, because I'm not going to say a few. Most of the gyms I talked to said no. Actually, maybe you're paying for the gym membership and you're not going, but they don't see that here.
Okay, so everybody's maintaining the gym membership. They're not canceling.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
Yes.
Way to go, Delmarva.
Proud of you guys.
Yeah. Do you have any that you're thinking about making for 2024?
Saving money and just like overall, just like bettering myself, preparing myself for the next phase of my life. I've been like researching a lot lately of like how to be a good mom. She knows because I come in every day with new facts about childbirth.
Yes, she does. They are traumatizing.
I'm like, oh, did you know this? And Leah's like, please stop, or none of us will ever want children.
Didn't want to. Thank you.
Yes. So surprise me. It's my New Year's resolution, Leah. So just doing research, trying to find out, what they say I should do to be a good mom and wife one day. What about you?
I mean, I guess on sort of the note of the next phase of Leah's life, figuring out what that is in the first place.
Boom.
Like, I have never been a 5-year plan kind of girl. I have always been a like, hey, what happens, like wherever the wind takes me. So maybe laying a little bit of groundwork for whatever that next phase is.
I love it. Hey, if you got through 2023, you did it. We're proud of you.
You did it.
And we'll be here with you through 2024.
That's right. We're excited. And maybe we'll hear from you about what your New Year's resolutions are, what you're thinking for 2024. Maybe bounce some ideas off each other.
Definitely, yeah. I could use some more.
But one thing we know for sure is that we've got a great episode of Coast Life headed your way. Our field correspondent, Maya Henry, is going to tell us what's coming up on the show.
Coming up today on Coast Life, looking for a new home to start off the New Year's right? We're showing you a property of your dreams. Plus, thinking about adding an addition to your home? We have a sweetheart waiting for their forever home. And attention all runners, finding it hard to ace your running goal? We're helping you find the motivation to get to the finish line. All that and more when Coast Life gets back.
Coast Life is brought to you by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Schell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
Take a look at this incredible moment. Stephen Decatur High School, Maryland State Champs. I know, it is so exciting. We've been covering it on Coast TV and on Delmarva Sports Network. I am so excited today to introduce you to members of the team and the coach. We have the head coach with us today. We have Bryson and Gavin as well. Welcome. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Well, first of all, congratulations. We have been so excited. I felt like I was playing in this game, which is so weird, right? Because you have that Maryland pride and that excitement for your local team. A silly question maybe, but how are you feeling?
I think it's a little bit like a dream.
Yeah.
I have to ask my wife sometimes, I'm like, did that really happen? But the support has been amazing, and it really feels like we kind of became like the Eastern Shores team.
Yeah.
And it's just been beautiful.
It's super surreal. It's an amazing experience. a great feeling, especially to do it with your dad as your head coach and everything. And you know, it was a very awesome moment at the end, but I didn't feel like it felt like it was over until the next day, going into this week and everything. But just experiencing it with the guys who have been there the whole time, and you know, and just all the work that you put in to finally get the result that you've been wanting the whole year. I think it's really, really a cool experience and awesome feeling.
It is, definitely. Another senior here too, Gavin. I mean, you're ending your senior year as a state champ. What's going on in your head?
Yeah, we're definitely really high right now, but yeah, it just feels great. We just do it with Bryson. I've been with him for 4 years and became pretty much brothers at this point. It's pretty awesome to do it with him, and it's a great way to end.
Yeah, definitely. And I do want to really emphasize, you mentioned it earlier, Bryson, but the head coach and your quarterback is your son. How extra special is that you won this for the first time with your kid?
It's probably, you know, it's the greatest experience in sports that I've ever had in my life. And you know, he's going to go on and do a lot bigger things, but you know, for me, this tops it all. And to do it with him, and you know, my wife Melanie, you know, her experiencing the final drive and the final moments, and you know, somebody had video of her. You know, it means so much to us all, and it's very, very special. I can die a happy man. You know. No question.
Exactly. Well, you just have more proud moments coming because your team really is incredible. They're continuing to move forward. I would love for if you two could just both tell people who are watching what your next step is, because I think everyone on Delmarva is going to be so excited for you.
You know, just keep it going with the program and everything, and you know, just because we've been there all 4 years of the rebuild process, and now, I mean, I think we rebuilt a lot faster than people thought we would. So now we just have to keep that pace, and you know, keep encouraging kids to keep joining the program and just keep building the program, and then. But for us, I think it's on to college football and everything. And
you're being humble.
Yeah,
where are you going?
I'm going to Vanderbilt University.
Going to Vanderbilt. You're going to keep playing football?
Yep.
Amazing.
Yep. So I'm super excited to go there. It's in Nashville, so that's going to be a really cool experience and everything. And you know, but I'm gonna stay the whole year, play basketball, and just enjoy my senior year.
You got to do it. Yeah. All right. Tell us where you're going.
Yeah. I'm not completely decided yet, but I'm definitely gonna play some college football somewhere. But yeah, it's just the coaches have instilled such a great attitude toward the game, like every day, that everybody just wants to keep coming and keep joining the team, and it's great.
Yeah.
It'll go on for years.
Yeah, definitely. You obviously both have the talent to do so. And Coach, I want to ask you too, what changed this year? Was it the physical prep? Was it mental prep? I mean, what went into making you guys champs?
Well, we were 42 seconds away from getting to the state final last year.
Wow.
We had the lead on Milford Mill, who ended up going on and winning the state championship. And our whole mindset over the last 365 days has been, how do we get 42 seconds better? So our weight room approach, just everything that we've done. We had trouble stopping the run last year versus Queen Anne's, Ken Island, and then obviously Milford Mill. So making sure that that didn't happen this year has been our focus. And you know, we have great players.
Yeah.
And when the kids all have that commitment, the community's been behind them, you can achieve extra special things.
Definitely. Well, I'm glad that you guys are seeing that community support, because being from someone who's just in the community, like I said, it's just been this incredible moment where we really were just so excited for you all. Whether you're from that area or not, like I mentioned earlier, I'm a Marylander, I'm not from that area, but you were just so excited to see a local Delmarva team go. So everyone's just very proud of you all.
I appreciate that.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
All the support.
Yes, definitely. So are you going to just kind of continue that mindset into next year and keep this thing going?
Oh yeah,
Great.
Yeah. We're going to keep it rolling, and you know, just keep doing the best we can. And you know, our ultimate goal is to build great young men that are going to be great people.
Definitely. That's very important. Great. Well, thank you all for being here. We wish you guys the best of luck, and hopefully we'll have you back next year when you win again.
Maybe so.
Sound good?
Sounds
I'll mark it in my calendar. All right. Thanks, guys, and thank you all for cheering on Steve Indicator and for watching Coast Life. We have more Coast Life coming your way.
You're watching Coast Life, and we know that losing a family member is never an easy thing to deal with, but luckily there are people that can help ease some of the paperwork that's involved in that process, which you don't even think of being part of the process, but it is. And so the people that think of it all are friends at Pristino Wells in Woodland. Amber Woodland joining us. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So first, I mean, tell us a little bit about, I know you had a special relationship with your great-grandmother, right?
Yes.
A lot of people aren't so, like, they don't get that opportunity to know their great-grandparents, but that's been a huge anchor and inspiration for you in your life.
For sure. I think my experience is unique, and I consider it a privilege that I was 18 when my great-grandmother passed away. So I have super fond memories of her. I could rattle off all kinds of details about her and my time with her when I was a child. And I was a freshman in college in Florida when she passed away. And I remember just feeling full of emotion, of course. It was the true real loss that I had experienced in my life. And I was 12 hours away from home, and I just wanted to be with my family. And at that time, I wasn't a lawyer yet. I didn't have the experience I have today. It was all new. But I think now, looking back on that, death is part of life.
Yeah.
And I think that the most important part of that process is being with the people that you love and being supported by those around you that mean the most, and sharing memories of the person that you lost. But then there is a legal technical side to that I do in my career now that I think is largely related to the experience that I had as a child with my grandmother.
For sure. And I mean, I think that special connection and those special memories that you had with your great-grandmother is just part of the picture that you guys always put care and love at the forefront of everything that you do when we are dealing with clients and their families. But you mentioned that there's a big legal process that people aren't really prepared for a lot of the time when it comes to that part of life. So let's talk, I mean, even probate, that's a term that I'm like, okay, I see this here, but what does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah, a lot of people think, oh, if I have a will, it's going to be easy when I pass away. And I think that it's a goal of a lot of people to make things as easy as possible on their loved ones when that time comes. And what they don't realize is even with a will, probate is required. And so probate's this kind of coined term, but what does it really mean? Probate's a legal process with the local Register of Wills office that is typically a year-long, paperwork-driven, very public and very expensive process. And it's hard to be faced with those tasks when you're otherwise grieving someone you love. And you don't want to put your time, energy, and attention into this big, long, tedious, time-consuming public to-do list. You want to be focusing on a lot of other things. And sometimes when you've got all of those emotions and you have this process that has to be gone through, it just heightens all of it. So, of course, there's planning that can be done to try to avoid probate and to successfully avoid probate. But really the point of our conversation today is more so to just focus on the fact that we can help families get through the probate process. And hiring a professional to help them with that process can really ease that burden during an otherwise really emotional time.
Well, it allows somebody to grieve during that time.
And having someone who's navigated the process, I have a whole team of people that help me navigate that process for my clients. It really eases that uncertainty of what does the process look like? What should I expect? We can communicate with the beneficiaries on behalf of the executor or the administrator. So there are a lot of perks to having assistance when you're serving in that role of administering a loved one's affairs.
This is speaking to a lot of people and they just want to know, maybe they need your services now, or they want to make sure they know where to go in the future. What's the best way to get in touch?
So we have so many resources online that are free. So I would recommend that anyone interested in just learning more about us, visit our website. pwwlaw.com. We have free podcast episodes, free blog posts, free articles. We offer free community workshops that are always listed. It's an opportunity for someone in the public to meet us, get to know us, understand that we take a really practical approach to practicing law and we're just normal people. And from there, of course, call our office. My team is incredible and they will help guide any potential client through our process.
And Amber, before we let you go, where are those offices located, just so that people know their options and where they can come see you?
Of course. So we have an office in Seaford and in Lewis, Delaware, and we serve all of the state. So especially after the pandemic, we've been offering virtual appointments. So we really can serve anyone from anywhere. In terms of a state administration, we are only serving families who have passed away, a resident of the state of Delaware, or who are currently residents of the state of Delaware. But in these cases, a lot of times the personal representative lives out of state. And so it's helpful to have a team like ours, this boots on the ground right here in Delaware, with physical office locations and good contacts and community resources to help families through that process.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in and telling us about just all the resources that you offer. And again, I think it's always a good reminder for people to hear just how personally connected you guys are with your work and your clients.
Thank
and it's
you.
just reassuring, again, in those sort of heavy, dark times that really are just a part of life.
Right.
But thank you again for coming in. We do have some more Coast Life to get to, though, so stick around. You're not going to want to miss it.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Prosino Wells and Woodland Law.
All right, everybody, take a look at this and just imagine you are running a marathon. You are hot, you are tired. Oh my gosh, you've been working so hard. I would imagine you're sore. And you see this, something just to brighten your spirits, really motivate you. That is what many people saw at the Rehoboth Seashore Marathon. I don't know how people run that long, but I'm sure these motivational flags really just meant a lot. To explain a little bit about the idea behind this, we have Mary Beth and Brad with us here today. Thank you both so much for being here.
Great.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So you both were working this Rehoboth Beach Seashore Marathon. First, if you don't mind, let's jump into a little bit about the marathon. How many people were there? The length. I really want to reiterate how long these people ran, and then we'll get into those flags we just saw.
Sure. The marathon, 26 miles, and then we also have a half marathon, 13.1 miles. And we had about 2,700 runners.
Wow.
And this is our 16th year. And it's just been growing and growing.
Wow, that's incredible. And so where did this idea of this kind of flag alley, right, come into play where you're really motivating these runners? How did that begin?
That was a brainstorm of mine from actually standing on the streets of Philadelphia at the Philadelphia Marathon.
Wow.
And it was my first marathon a few years ago. And I looked up and I saw, I'm from New Zealand originally, and I saw the New Zealand flag silhouetted in the morning sun. And I thought, whatever happens today, it's going to be a good day. And it was a good day. So being a runner, many years later, a friend of mine and I went down just to support the Seashore Marathon, and we had 2 flags, and we just strung them up in the breakwater trail, on the breakwater trail, and from there it just morphed. The next year we came back with 7, and then we just saw the reaction to runners coming through this tough part of the course, and we thought, wow, we're onto something. So I reached out to Mary Beth and said, hey, what do you think about stringing up like 50 state flags?
Wow.
And from there it just snowballed. I think we're up to about 70 now, and that's now backed by our Surf Gimp Foundation, which is all our volunteers who come out to support the runners. We have charity runners with us now. Last year I think we had 13, now we're up to 20, and they help raise money for our foundation, Surf Gimp Foundation, which helps disabled athletes pursue and chase their dreams.
I'd love if you wouldn't mind talking about Surf Gimp a little bit more and telling us why it's so important to you and why so many people were out running for the foundation.
Absolutely. So Surf Gimp Foundation was started in memory of our good friend Jay, who was a local surfer.
Yes.
And he pursued a life where he just wanted to go for it. And we took him surfing all up and down the East Coast, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, California. And unfortunately, he passed away, but before he did, we told him that we would continue to help other disabled athletes. And that's really what the foundation does. It gives a means of financial ability to people, whether they want to enter a surf contest or they need a new piece of equipment. So over the last few years, we've given away over $250,000, and we have a grant cycle every year. People apply to the foundation. So when we have runners turn up like they do at the Seashore Marathon, those runners have raised close to $30,000, which as a non-profit, all the money that gets raised goes straight back out to help disabled people, chase their dreams just like Jay did.
Definitely. That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I'd love to get to, from a runner's point of view, you're running, a marathon, even a half marathon, that is a lot. And of course you're running for something that's probably motivating you, but what goes through a runner's mind when they are maybe at that, they're tired, they're worn out, and they see those flags? What does that feel like inside?
Where they are on the course is kind of near the end. We have only about 3 miles left. So people are pretty tired, whether they're doing the half marathon or they're full. And it was amazing. You see all the flags from different countries and different organizations and our states, and then you hear them calling your name, and it really pumps you up. And everyone gets excited. Some people stop and take pictures, or some people start running faster. So it's really motivational, and it's in the perfect part of the course where you're kind of feeling tired and you need a little pump up.
I could only imagine.
And we're fun people, so.
They are fun people,
We'll
that's for sure. That's for sure, yes.
Right. Well, I know a lot of people will be wondering how they can support you and your mission. Are there ways to support the flags and also, of course, Surf Gimp? What do you want people to know?
surfgimpfoundation.org. We have a great fundraiser coming up at the Rusty Rudder in January. It's a big bash. It's a fun time. Mary Beth and her husband are always there.
Yes, it's so much fun and a great cause. They have like a silent auction and a live auction.
Music, food, a great time. So yeah, please, surfgimpfoundation.org. Check us out. Help, if people want to help, donate, and all of that money goes to help disabled athletes, chase their dreams.
Incredible, awesome. Well, thank you both so much for being here and for what you do all the time. Thank you. I know a lot of runners will be excited to already see these flags for next year when they run in the marathon.
Yes.
All right, thank you guys so much. We have more Coast Life coming your way. We'll be back in just a minute.
Meet my new buddy, Cedar. He likes to play, he loves to eat, but you know what he likes even better? Oh, and he likes kisses. But even better than that, he needs a forever home. And Cedar's from the Humane Animal Partners in Rehoboth Beach. And since Cedar's a little shy and doesn't talk as much, we're talking to Lee from Humane Animal Partners as well. Tell us something cool about Cedar.
Oh, he's a sweet guy. He's just 7.5 months old, and he's been with us for a couple of weeks. He came in with his brother from one of our out-of-state transports, and he's been with us for a few weeks now, and we just know he would make a wonderful addition to any family, any home. So we're hoping that this spotlight today, finds him that family that he's looking for.
When I first saw him, he was super shy, but he opens up very quickly.
Very quickly, with the camera and new people, it's an adjustment. But as most dogs, once they learn that they're safe and it's okay, that confidence will start to shine. And as you saw me do, pairing some treats as he's sniffing the tripod and things, just lets him know that he's doing a good thing by investigating and that he's safe and secure, and it won't hurt him. So he's learning. It's just exposure.
So speaking of your training, you were trying to get Cedar to sit earlier. So for the people who have a new dog or a dog that's not trained as much, how can you get them to sit in a cool or accurate way?
Yeah, absolutely. So the technique that I use for teaching a dog to sit is to hold a treat towards their nose and just slowly lift up. So when that nose goes up, the butt goes down. Now, mind everybody, this is only his third time doing this, so I don't,
There we go, good boy.
He's a pro already. He's a pro,
Yes.
So it just takes little movements of getting that nose in the air, and then the butt hits the ground. Good boy. Yay. And you reward him at the point of when he's in sit position. And quickly, you'll be able to take the treat out of your hand and simply use a hand motion like this, lifting your hand up as his nose follows up. And we're not quite ready for that yet because he's just learning, but he's well on his way.
Yeah. So if someone is interested in Cedar, he's very playful, he's super loving. How can they come in contact with Humane Animal Partners?
Yeah, head to our website, which is humaneanimalpartners.org. From there, you'll find an Adopt tab. Click on that, click on Dogs. You can click on Rehoboth, and you'll see exactly who's here. Or you can also check out the animals at our Wilmington facility if you're willing to head up that way. But once you do that, you can come on in and talk to one of our adoption counselors, and we'll help you find the right match.
All right. You see, he's partially trained so far. He can almost sit. He'll be perfect for the whole family. So come on down to Humane Animal Partners in Rehoboth, guys. There's more fun coming up right after the break. You're watching Coast Life, and guys, welcome to the home of your dreams. We're a Schell Brothers Bluebell home model right at the peninsula. So guys, let's go take a look inside.
So we put together a lot of information from all the buyers that we've seen over the last few years here, but not just in this neighborhood, but regionally. And we saw a lot of homeowners wanting to have their everything for themselves on the first floor of the house. And that's what we've provided for them with this home. Now, with this home as well is We can add a second floor, we can add a basement. So if we do want that multi-level home, we can provide that with this home. So now that we're in the kitchen, we have some really wonderful options that I'd like to point out. This is what we call our professional kitchen. First thing is the command center. We have this beautiful, beautiful island providing you with tons of workspace as well as an eat-in kitchen opportunity. So another really neat feature of this home, and this kitchen specifically, is the option to have double wall ovens. This one has a really neat French door at the top, and then your more traditional on the bottom. The last thing that I'd like to mention is the amount of cabinetry that's in this kitchen. It is absolutely wonderful. There is storage for any and everything that you could possibly imagine, as well as some practical options like big slide outs. When you think about cooking and you have your big sauce pots and things like that, having these accessible right here below your range. Little practical options like that we've thought about, they just make life a little bit easier.
So we are currently inside of the living room of the Blue Bell home model?
Yes.
All right, so tell me, if a person is looking at this model, can they get the whole thing, or is it more just like a personalized experience for their future home?
So both of those options are absolutely possible for our potential home buyers. You could have everything that model has, or you could really personalize it to be the right home for you. Now, what I mean by that is it could be as drastic of not adding the second floor. You could have the first floor in the basement, or the first floor and the second floor. So every option is yours to choose.
So let's go check out this bedroom. I love the way it looks. Connected bathroom, guys. So let's go take a look inside.
So with this bedroom, again, we have a lot of personalization that you can choose from. But one of the standards is going to be this gorgeous tray ceiling. And then what you can see, what we've added to that standard is some of this molding. We have a standard transom window above the bed, and then your optional windows on the side.
All right, Tyler, so you're leading me to the second floor of the home. What are some things that really pop out?
So the second floor, what really jumps out to me is its ability to be personalized to fit so many families' needs. Maybe it's not even here.
All right, guys, so we have came to the conclusion of our tour. So we are in the basement. A lot of people wish they had a basement. Do you see a lot of people asking for this specifically?
Yes, with a lot of our customers coming from areas where they're just used to having that basement, and wherever that place may be. But it's always the hub for them for their social life and their recreation. And here in our basement, we have really put our best foot forward trying to create that really incredible recreation space.
All right, guys, so it is the end of the tour, but as you heard from Tyler, it's as simple as a request to get any of these beautiful amenities or even rooms. So there's more Coast Life coming up right after the break.
This segment of Coast Life was brought to you by Schell Brothers.
Hot fries and Chick-fil-A sauce. I really like it. Hot Cheetos and Chick-fil-A sauce. You guys, that is not good. No. Sour cream, pepper, tahini, dip nitro Takis. 10.
All right, Coast Life, we have a spicier addition to our TikTok Made Me Try It today. So in the TikTok, you saw we have all things hot fries, hot flamin' crunchy Cheetos, and we also have Takis. So in the first part of the video, she tried these two chips with Chick-fil-A sauce. So let's see how this is gonna taste. All right, gonna try two. Open this one. It's a lot of noise. All right, and then we're gonna try Cheetos. So here's the Chick-fil-A sauce. I'm gonna put it on the plate. All right, let's try hot fries. There we go. Honestly, it just tastes like Chick-fil-A sauce. So I think I would give it a 5 out of 10. Let's move on.
All right, hot Cheetos used to be my favorite snack in high school. So let's see if they still remain. All right, put in the Chick-fil-A sauce. I would give this one definitely a 3 out of 10. Really sweet, but doesn't go together. All right, let's try hot Takis. So I know when I was in middle school, hot Takis was the big thing. So let's see how they taste with sour cream. We're gonna try 2 Takis. We're gonna scoot this out, and of course we got light sour cream because my stomach cannot handle anything more. So let's see. All right, for the grand reveal. Definitely 1,000 out of 10. All right, so I'm giving it up for the Takis and the sour cream. If you guys have any other TikTok made us try it that you're thinking, I don't want to try it myself, but of course the Coast Life girls got you, please send it to our email at team@coastlife.com. But guys, we have so many more fun things coming up right after the break.
Okay, we've talked before about what we would do if we won the Powerball jackpot.
Yes.
Right now it's like 700 million plus. It's incredible. Next drawing is Saturday, but we're gonna switch it up today. We're asking, what would you do with the money? Let's say you come home with 350 or 400 million. Not the big difference. Right. At that point, who cares? What would you do with the money if you had to give it away? You couldn't keep it.
Could I like invest in my own charity? Like, could I do that? Because I don't know if what I'm thinking that I would really want to do with it exists as it stands. I mean, like maybe it does, but I've never heard of it.
Okay, I'll let the people decide. Tell us what you would do then if what you're thinking of giving it away wise.
All right, so what I would do to give it away is like free childcare for moms who are victims of domestic violence or you know, don't have the income, because I think the huge struggle for people who, you know, have to work 2, 3, 4 multiple jobs just to keep the lights on is, you know, you can't afford childcare.
Yeah, so
and if you can't afford childcare, you can't work because who's going to watch the kids?
Right.
Who's going to do this? So it would be sort of like a, you know, a nonprofit daycare center charity, you know, nonprofit daycare.
I think that works because you're not going to pocket any of the money. That's
you're not going to pocket any of the money. It would pay, you know, the teachers, the people that would be there taking care of your kids.
I love it.
Maybe transportation if you need it.
Same. Okay.
That's
I love it.
If I had millions, that is genuinely what I would do with my millions.
Okay. We'll let the people decide. Does that count?
Does it count as charity? I'm not making the money off of it.
I say it counts. I'm not quite as nice as you because my first thought is like, I'm going to give it to my parents. And then.
All right, fair.
But then after that, give a bunch to my parents.
Take care of mom and dad.
Yes, exactly. They don't have to work anymore. A little bit here and there to each sibling, so maybe they remember and they treat me to a nice dinner in the future. But after that, I have a couple charities, things I'm passionate about. It would all just go there.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Assuming I would take care of families first, and then.
Not me being like, well, Leah, I'd take care of my mom and dad.
Right. You.
Just kidding.
Bad daughter.
Well, you take care of parents and me. Well, at least I know that we would both do both those things, even if we won. I'd keep some for myself, but still good.
But I think that is genuinely what I would do with that.
Good options. If you have any like really fun, creative ways you're doing it, let us know. Like you're gonna win. Like didn't mean to say it like that.
But if you do,
let us know who you'd give it to if you couldn't keep any for yourself. You can do that right